Hey everyone, so I've been asked several times to film a demo and a review on the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation, so I am just now getting to it. My apologies for that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick review, just kind of tell you my thoughts and what is on the Sephora website, just some really basic facts, and then I will get into the demo and finish off with a getting ready with me video. So the way that I apply it is with a Sigma F80 brush, as you're going to see in the video. That's just my preference for liquid foundations. You can use anything that you choose, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. But I wanted to let you know that there's no real secret or technique to the way that I apply it. It's really nothing that I came up with. It's the technique that I use for all of my liquid foundations. So I don't do anything exceptional with this foundation that I don't do with other ones. I hope that makes sense to you. So anyway, let me go ahead and get started. Okay, so let me talk really quick about this. This is the, again, Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation Luminous Coverage. This is what the packaging looks like. You twist this off and it has a little nozzle right here where the product dispenses, which I actually really like. I don't have any issues with this packaging at all. I like that it's plastic. I like that it's a tube. I find it very travel friendly. So yeah, and then if you look at the instructions right here, it does tell you, or the label right here does tell you to shake well. So make sure you give it a good shake before you use it. The amount of product that you're getting in this is 1.18 fluid ounces or 35 milliliters. My shade is Bamboo Beige. It says that she created this foundation that delivers flawless, buildable coverage in a long-wearing, rich, hydrating base. I will also tell you really quick, because I'm probably going to forget to do that in the voiceover, that with this foundation, start off by using a little bit, like maybe a little pea-sized amount, and see how far that takes you, and then build it up. Because as you can see in the getting ready with me video, I use about a pea size the first time, or I apply a pea size the first time, and then I go back and then I apply another pea size the second time, which is way too much. So I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, less is more with this foundation. Just start off with a little bit and then build it up, because it's definitely buildable. So, okay, and then the directions that she recommends is to apply a small amount with a sponge. She does create a sponge in her line, or she's made a sponge in her line. I don't use it, I don't have it, so I can't tell you how that would differ using that. And then it says to blend gently into skin for a luminous, flawless finish. As I said earlier, I do prefer to use the Sigma F80 brush. It's just, I'm sure all of you are familiar with it, but this is what it looks like. You can definitely use a beauty blender or a beauty blender dupe or any other foundation brush that you want to use. By all means, go ahead. The only thing that I'm going to say about that is that if you do choose to use a beauty blender or a dupe for that, or a brush that is less dense, you're not going to get as much of a fuller coverage. So you'll see a lot of acne scars and a lot of redness in my cheek area, and you're going to see how good that it covers that up. I would say that this is more of a fuller coverage foundation along the lines of Estee Lauder Double Wear. I don't know if I would put it in the same area as Kat Von D, because I feel like that's almost like a mask going on. And I love the formulation of it. It is more of a whipped formulation, so it's not so liquidy and runny. And I'll show you right here what it looks like. I'm just going to put a little bit. Again, you need very, very little. The finish does give you more of a luminous finish, but not dewy. I think it's important to notate the difference on that. So a little bit more of like a satin luminous finish. That's my favorite thing about this foundation, is the finish. It has full coverage and it gives me the finish that I want. So definitely not matte, definitely not like over dewy type foundation, but here you go. You can see the formulation right here. It just doesn't move at all. It's just not a nice whipped formulation. And then I'm going to rub it in just so you can see how crazy opaque this is, and then you'll be able to see the finish of it. So that's the opacity of it. So, okay, this hand is the one with foundation. You can see just how nice and glowy it is. And then this one doesn't have anything, and I don't have any lotion on. So you can see that there is a difference in the coverage. Covers up a lot of the blue veining on there. I also forgot to mention my skin type. My skin type is pretty normal everywhere except for my T-zone. I am a little bit oily there. So especially in the hot summer months, I can very quickly get oily there. So if you're extremely oily, or you have more prominent oily skin, I wouldn't recommend this, just because it's not long wearing and it's not a mattifying foundation. If you have normal skin, I would say this is good. If you have dry skin, I would also say that this is a very good foundation, just because it's very nice and rich and moisturizing. So I would recommend this for everyone except for oily or extreme oily skin. As far as it being a long wear foundation, I wouldn't say that it's super long wearing. I do find that it's pretty average, about 6 to 8 hours. And if you have any oilier skin than I do, it's going to last probably a lot less than that, as this already is full coverage. So if you layer anything on top, beware, because it could look cakey, or it could just really intensify the full coverage that you're possibly going for. So let me go through the Sephora website really quick and just tell you the ratings and the price and that kind of thing. There are currently 8 shades available on the Sephora website. I believe it's the same in store, and online there are 3 shades that are sold out. The price of this is $43, and I would say this is good for light to tan skin. I don't believe that they have anything for really, really deep skin tones. Yeah, they don't. They have everything from like light, which from my understanding, if you're porcelain skin, if you have porcelain skin, they don't have anything for you, just because it's, I don't know, the way that they do that, it's not really for porcelain or really dark skin. It's for light to medium golden tones. I don't know why it's like that, but that's the way it is. And that's just from my understanding from a few of my friends who are porcelain skin, who say that Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation does not have a match for them. The ratings for this is a little over 4 stars out of 5, and that's based off of 1,286 reviews. The description is a rich, which I agree, long-wearing foundation, average, that gives skin a professional full coverage finish, and I totally agree with that. It says what it does is a creamy long wear formula that glides over skin effortlessly for perfect application and blendability. It has a special collection of silk proteins, tea extracts, and treated mica that blend together to create a luxuriously hydrating foundation that leaves skin softer, smoother, and flawless. Advanced light reflecting ingredients work to make the appearance of fine lines and imperfections disappear. Even the hardest to hide pigmentations are covered to look much smoother and much more even. So, and I do agree with that. I do feel like because of my acne scars and my hyperpigmentation and a lot of redness, a lot going on in my skin, I feel like it covers it quite well. I mean, you can't see, none of it peeks through. The only thing that really shows are any old acne scars that are raised, because no matter what foundation you use or what powder you use, anything that's raised is always going to show. Doesn't matter on concealer, doesn't matter what you do. If it's raised, it's not even with your skin tone, so it's always going to show. But as far as like any discoloration, any redness, none of that peeks through on my skin, which I really, really like. This foundation does not feel heavy at all, by the way, so it's not anything that feels really heavy or looks cakey on your skin. It blends really nice, and the reviews on the Sephora website, there was one person, if you do have rosacea, that said that they couldn't find anything that covered their rosacea, and this worked for them. So just kind of a heads up on that. I think that's pretty much all I had to say. If there's anything that I forgot, leave your questions or your comments down below. If you've tried this, let me know what you think as well, and let other subscribers know. That way they get your feedback as well. So we'll go ahead and jump into the demo and the getting ready with me video. I hope that you enjoy, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.
Taking Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation in Bamboo Beige, putting a pea-sized amount, and then going back and putting double, which is way too much, which is why I said start with a little bit and then build it up. Taking the Sigma F80 and stippling that on, you're going to see how opaque this is and how much that covers. Very full coverage foundation, very nice and creamy and very easy to blend. I love this foundation. This will always be a holy grail for me. At least I can foresee that happening for a very long time. Basically, all you need is one application. You're going to see me in a little bit going back for a little bit more. Excuse me, but it's only because I just overdid it and I had some left over and I didn't know what else to do with it, and I didn't want to just like waste it away. So I put a little bit more right here. But yeah, one application would have definitely been more than enough. And then just blend it. Make sure you have it blended into your hairline. I see so many people who look like they have a mask, and blend it into your jawline and neck area as well. So here you can see me putting onto my neck area and just making sure everything's really nice and blended, and into your ears as well, like more like the earlobe area. So just wiping off my foundation brush onto my makeup towel, and you can see the difference right here, how much coverage it gives. Now I am taking my Maybelline 24-Hour Color Tattoo in Bold Gold. I'm going to apply that all over the eyelid area and just onto the eyelid area. And then I realize as I'm filming, as I'm recording, that it would have just been easier for me to have applied or worked on one eye already. So this is what you're seeing right here. And then we'll work on the other one together. Taking the Nude Tude and the shade Snobby, which is a really pretty gold color, and an e.l.f. flat shader brush, which is old, but I love it. I'm putting that all over the lid area. This is a beautiful gold color. So just pat that in, and then taking the e.l.f. crease brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Sultry, which is a nice medium matte brown, and putting that only into the crease area, all over the crease area, taking that all the way in using like windshield wiper motions and then small little circles. I'm looking straight just to see how far up I want to take that, just to use that as a guide. That way when I'm looking straight, it'll be exactly where I want it to be. And I do like this to go up a little bit on me personally. It may be different for you, but that's just kind of where I like it. Then I'm going to take an E25 blending brush and just blend out the outer corners of it. Just make sure everything's nice and blended. And a pencil brush, which is an E30, and the shade is Silly, which is a rich brown color with gold flecks. And then I'm just going to pat it onto the outer area, and then I'm going to work it into the outer V, which I know is not very typical, but that's just kind of what works for me and what I do. And there's a lot of going back and forth with this just to make sure that both eyes are even. And then later I do go back in and deepen it up a little bit because I didn't feel like they were exact, but now that I'm done, I feel like they're pretty close. So just making sure they're even, blending again, no harsh lines. Taking the pencil brush, and now I'm going to concentrate on more of that shape. Go back in with Silly and concentrating on that shape now making sure it's more of that V, and then in a little bit, well, I guess a little bit later, I'll take it to the lower lash line. Taking Sultry again, and then just going on the outer edges of that rich brown color and just blending that out. Now using an E55 in the shade Sassy and using that as my highlight color. And this is what it looks like coming up in just a few seconds. There you go. So now I'm taking Bobbi Brown gel liner in Chocolate Shimmer Ink. I have already applied that off camera, and then I go back in with Pure Minerals Big Blink Mascara and put that on the top and bottom lashes. And by the way, I'm sorry if this recording's off a little bit. I noticed that there is a little bit of a gap in time. I don't know, it's really weird. So now I'm going to take the Sonia Kashuk blush brush, which is a really nice, oh, I'm lying. That's not what I'm doing. I forgot about this inner corner. I don't do this very often, so I always forget about it. I'm not even at the bronzer. I was like way too far ahead. Now I'm taking the Instant Age Rewind in Neutralizer, applying that under the eye area. This is going to be my concealer and neutralizer today, and using a flat paddle foundation brush. I love using this brush for this. And just setting that, patting that in, going to the other eye, making sure they're both pretty even. And then I will be taking the Bare Minerals Well Rested, and I love this for setting my concealer and also for a brightening effect. So using a Walmart HD brush, and then just blending that into the brush, and then just patting it in and blending it in, making sure I set that under eye area to help prevent creasing. Now I'm right where I should be, and I'm taking the Sonia Kashuk blush brush and taking NARS bronzer in Laguna, which you know is a holy grail bronzer for me. This is just the perfect color for my skin tone. Doing a little bit of contouring, warming up my temples, my forehead. Same thing as with my foundation. I'm going to also take it to the jawline and the neck area as well. Make sure you blend that into your hairline. So next I'm taking NARS Orgasm Blush and applying that with an Eco Tools. I think this is a blush brush. This is also another holy grail item for me, this blush color. I love it. Making sure that everything looks okay, and of course I feel like I need more like I always do, so I go back in and put more. I love blush. So coming up, I forgot to show the lip gloss application, but you guys all know how to do that. So I'm going to wipe off the lip balm that I had on during my makeup and then apply Wet n Wild's lipstick in Fergie Daily. And then on top of that, put a Buxom lip gloss, which I forgot the name of it, but I'll annotate it down below. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, demo, and getting ready with me video. I hope y'all have a great day or night. Put your questions or comments down below, and I will see you in the very next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.